This is the last episode of 2024, and we hope we go out with a bang, not a whimper. Is Miss Parker just a mic?
Hey, we already going out with a bang. We came in super delayed.
Well, we like to
Sorry.
thank y'all. We would like to welcome y'all to the last episode of the Watch for the Hook Business Entrepreneur Podcast for 2024. Michael with
Tatiana,
Parker. How you feeling today?
good if we can get ourselves together,
We
get
are
our
re-
lives together.
we are recording on Christmas Eve, folks.
Hmm.
No days off. We don't preach it, we live it.
That's right. It's always something to do. You always got to take care of something, keep some things moving.
Oh yes, most
Should have put
definitely.
my like ears on. Okay. Not over these headphones, right?
So today we're going to talk about navigating uncertainties as we roll into 2025.
Hmm.
And, not to be a political podcast, but we know Orange Cap Man will be taking over in 2025. And if you listen to some of our episodes in the past few weeks, we've already talked about he can come in and make it hard for small businesses.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say we'll be taking over. I'm gonna say he will be coming into play.
Again, when I tell y'all, people are like, how did this happen?
What do you mean? How did it happen?
Because there's a bunch of morons out there.
Or it's either what you did or didn't do. I mean, you can sum it up like you either did something or you did not do something. Or no, you did not do anything.
Or you didn't understand. Those that do not understand history are doomed to repeat it.
So in essence, you either did or didn't do something, right? That's just kind of where we live.
Yeah. And so as we talk about navigating uncertainties as business owners, we're just talking about, right now the landscape is fragile and it's kind of rocky.
Landscape, climate,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things right now, as I said,
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree.
even right now we're looking at, let's say you're looking for funding
Mm.
your business going into 2025. If your funding ain't approved by the end of 24,
Yeah.
with the stipulations that could come in 25, you may not be able to get funding.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, look, this can be some real uncertain territory. It can be really scary. It can, your plans could either explode or implode, right? Right.
And them flows as well. Either way,
Either way, it's a
an
flow.
implode or outflode, as she says, an
Yeah.
explode, it hurts.
Yeah. So I don't know. That just makes me kind of fearful for someone, that were, maybe in September they were like, I'm gonna pull the trigger January 1 because people always like to get things together. I
Hmm.
want to take care of a few things. I want to get some things squared away. I'll be ready by January 1. Of course, in September we didn't have the finite decision that we have now as to what's to come,
Hmm.
inauguration in
Yeah.
January.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but I guess if that didn't create a sense of urgency for you, then I don't know what will because those plans like could be down the toilet. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know what this is gonna look like.
You're also talking to people who launched the business in the midst of COVID.
Right. And remember, we were one of those people that we were planning everything prior to the start.
Yeah.
So it happened with no forewarning.
Yeah. They had to pull the
None.
trigger, right?
Still had to pull the trigger. So
Yeah.
it's like if you were in September talking about I'm gonna pull the trigger in January, what is this gonna look like? How are things gonna change? How big will the changes be? How's it gonna fluctuate?
Yeah.
Is it even still gonna happen?
Those are some, as we talk about those UCs, them uncomfortable
Yeah.
conversations that we now realize a lot of small business owners are having.
Honestly, a lot of them are probably not having them soon enough.
Listen, if they ain't had them by December 24th of 2024, they might be SOL.
Mm.
Probably
Yeah.
shit out of luck.
That's what I was gonna say. You probably should already had them and already had pulled the trigger. Maybe you had to pull the trigger a little sooner.
Listen, what they say, you'll miss 1,000% of the shots you never take.
Yeah,
So you
that's a
either,
fact.
like I say, it's gonna be damned if you do, damned if you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, it's gonna be some real interesting territory. But that isn't the only thing that's that's deemed uncertain or uncertainty, you know.
Yeah,
Lots of things can be um uncertain.
yeah. I mean, like that's right now. We can still, like I said, we just talked about the political aspect. Uncertain times. I mean, financial. I mean, right now
Yeah.
they're telling you inflation isn't as high as it's ever been, but your dollar is not stretching as far as it used to.
No.
And so we're looking at, for small businesses, you need what? Rinse, repeat, recycle. You need people to come spend dollars,
Right.
talk about spending dollars with
Yeah.
you, come back to spend dollars with
Spend
you,
some more
and bring
dollars on
somebody
us.
else with them.
Right. Bring a friend.
And so right now you're looking at that aspect economic wise, it's rough.
It is.
People are hanging on to their dollars. I mean, right now you got certain corporations that have workers striking
Mhm.
due to pay and labor issues. So guess what happens to the customer?
We feel it again.
Yeah, you don't somebody's not there.
Yeah, right, right, right.
Or what you bought 2 weeks ago now got 30 cents more added to
And
it.
that's what I was gonna say. It makes it hard to really like, you know how you be like, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna go out on a limb. It makes it really hard when day-to-day expenses are very uncertain.
Yeah. I mean,
Going in the store to purchase anything, I guarantee you, was more expensive today than it was 2 months ago.
exactly.
Because
And
remember, 2 months ago, you were still deciding that you were gonna pull the trigger in January
and now you got to pull the trigger early.
or not.
Yeah. And so even like for us, as a parent brand, we're looking at, we've talked about having to cut ties with certain business service groups
Yes,
because
yes, 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 yes,
they
yes.
increase their threshold or price on us as a
Yeah,
consumer.
yeah.
And we were just uncomfortable with that
Sick
situation.
of it,
And we was like, you know something?
sick of
For
it.
as much money, this is the damnedest truth, as much free money, because let's be honest,
Yeah, yeah,
you're getting a lot of free extra
right,
money from the people you provide these services to. And then to get a hike or a unknown increase without
right.
explanation, oh, you know what happens? Pack my bag, go somewhere else.
It's like the equivalent of all the apps that you have that you're paying for that you don't or the streaming services that you're paying for that you don't realize you have, and you're like, so when these ones and twos and $3 are coming out, that doesn't really affect, like, the bottom line in your bank account for most people, 99 cent, $1.99.
But that's the thing, they do that to
Yeah,
everybody.
times X amount of month.
So when they sneaking this dollar charge
Yeah,
on 29,000 customers every time they do something,
every month.
every month or every
Yeah,
transaction,
that's true right there.
that's millions
That's
of
even
dollars that
worse,
they're
yeah,
making
that's even worse.
on just what? A hike, a tax hike
Mhm. Pennies
that
on the dollar,
yeah,
right?
that they passed along to the consumer. So even in those uncertain times, you're like, just not willing to give you away some money.
Nope, not right now.
You know,
Not
even cer
ever.
even certain financial institutions charge you a monthly fee
Mhm.
just to put money in their bank.
Right. Imma pay you for you to hold my money.
And this is why we explain to people, banks don't make money off you putting money in it. They make money off of being able to lend
Yeah,
the money that's on reserve
right.
from the people who have put the money in the bank.
Mhm, mhm.
So when they turn around and say, "Oh, you making 0.0000.2 cents on a dollar
Right.
in the bank account," but then they'll lend it out to somebody else at a 17 to 20% interest rate.
Mhm.
That's where they make their money.
For 20 and 30 years.
Exactly.
So they didn't got their money
So
back.
that's how they
They
make their
didn't
money.
lend look,
They done lent your money
that's
out.
how I finna sound like the old people. They done lent your money out.
Yeah, the money. Like people gotta understand, it's a
They making money off
science.
your money.
Yes,
You
it's a
ain't making no money.
science. It is a science to lending, spending, consuming, and producing.
Mhm.
It's
That's
a
a
big
lot right
circle.
there. It is, it's a vicious circle, but it's also, unfortunately, part of the circle of life that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean,
I haven't figured out a way to get away from it. When I
no.
do, I'm pretty sure I could then be a bagillionaire. I ain't gonna put my money in the bank though.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's certain aspects that go against, putting your money in the bank. If you're looking to make money, you got to get with a financial advisor.
Mhm.
One of these people who understand the stock markets and things like that way better than I do.
Right,
And
absolutely.
and so that's what we always say, talk to a professional. Don't don't take your financial advice off of social media.
Mhm.
Please don't. Because if you like them people that tried to go to the Digicoin with the hot Tui girl,
Oh, no.
yeah, them folks thought she was finna start her own Digicoin or something. Man, these folks lost millions of dollars.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's a
Lord.
travesty of justice. But
Mm,
guess what?
mm, mm.
They say a fool is born every minute.
Hey, just don't be that fool.
Yes, pay attention, folks. Pay attention. There are real professionals out there, and they are willing to talk to you.
Mhm.
Just take your time
For a
out.
small fee.
Yeah, I mean, even with us, we give you 30 minutes free, and you can always come by www.watch4 the number 4 thehook.com if you are looking to get into the apparel business or looking to just start a business on your
Mm,
own. And you want to sit down and talk to me and Miss Parker for free, you can hit the podcast money merch discovery call. Absolutely free to
mhm.
you. We'll give you our valuable time if you feel like it. And then hopefully you may want to come join the rat race of being an entrepreneur.
That's right. It sure is a rat race.
I mean, everything is, but I mean, the rat race of being entrepreneurs is a crazy race
It is.
because
It's always exciting.
yeah, man, listen, highs and
Yeah,
lows.
sometimes you get real pissed off.
I mean, just like what's in the podcasting, man,
What
just
else you got for uncertainties? It sounds like you about to let off another topic or category of
no. I mean,
uncertainty.
even just in uncertainties, I mean, it just whatever you try to jump into.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
there's a level of uncertainty.
yeah, I mean, there is really people think that there is a straight line to life. No, everything has curves, ups and downs, rivers and valleys. So I mean, the biggest uncertainty you can have is I'm gonna tell you this, doubting yourself.
I knew you were gonna say that,
That's the biggest
and
uncertainty you
that's
can have.
exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you said doubting yourself. I was gonna say, not willing to take the risk.
Yeah. Being afraid to fail. That's
Yeah,
what most
not
people just
betting on
say.
yourself, and self-doubt, exactly like you said. Not
Yeah.
having the confidence, not willing to try.
I mean, if people realize there's two sides to a coin for a reason. There's heads, tails, or an A and a B.
Mhm. Ain't no in between.
Yeah. I mean, this is how life works. You flip this coin. Either you're gonna do it or you ain't.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn, but that's why they say damned if you do, damned if you don't. It
yeah.
ain't damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damned if you didn't think about it, damned if you wanted to think about it, you didn't do it. No, it don't work.
It's damned do,
Damn,
damned
don't.
don't.
So if you are looking to bet on yourself, by the time you walk across whatever threshold in life
Yeah.
you're looking at, you're gonna look back and say, I should have or I shouldn't have.
Right, right, right.
But either way, you're
What you
going
them
to look
shoulda,
back.
coulda, wouldas.
What they say, shoulda, coulda, would
Shoulda,
have done
coulda,
a lot of
wouldas.
other things.
Shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
But them shoulda, coulda, woulda didn't do shit because you didn't do
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair.
And when you
Fair.
don't do nothing, what can you expect but
Nothing.
exactly.
Nothing. So, like, just kinda piggybacking on that, when you're trying to navigate uncertainty, what do you like as a an entity or an individual who's trying to navigate uncertainty, right?
Mhm.
At what point in time should that individual could that individual feel like like the boat's too rocky, 'cause that boat gets rocky, and the boat gets rocky in the middle of the body of water, right? When you too far to turn around and go back because you're gonna have to expend just as much effort, right?
Yeah.
To make it back to shore to safe land, than to expend the same amount of effort to get across the threshold. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The words of our plotting innate logic.
Uh-oh.
Daniel Baker, you got to see it. I mean, listen, what they say,
Live by that. See
you
you
see,
too. I gotta
you have
see that
come
thing too.
too far to go
Yeah.
back, and you are too far in
Mhm.
to not finish.
Yeah.
So this is thing. Still, you're gonna have just two things. You're gonna sink or swim.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you get close enough to the shore that you can paddle and get there, and you
Doggy
can
paddle. We're
save
gonna doggy
yourself,
paddle.
or I mean, listen, businesses fold and die every
Yeah.
day. I mean, listen, people's dreams are destroyed on a daily
That
basis.
doesn't mean it wasn't worth a shot,
Exactly.
right?
That's
That
not saying,
doesn't mean it wasn't worth giving it the good old college try.
yeah, that's not saying, listen, at the end of the day, me and Miss Parker could have saved a lot of money by not doing Washington Loop,
Not doing a lot of
not doing the
things.
podcast, not doing the this and that, not putting our money in the real estate and all this other stuff. But one thing, me and her also have sold each other. Damn sure wouldn't have been as much fun.
It wouldn't have let me tell you
Mm.
something. You're not gonna learn nearly as much not doing something as you will at the very least attempting to do something. Because some of our best lessons have come from, I'll just use the harsh word, failures.
Mm.
Some of our best, most invaluable lessons have come from failures, or not even so much a failure, poor execution, right?
Didn't know no better.
Right. Poor thought process. If you build it, they will come. You know, just going to a networking event expecting to network, and ain't nobody networking.
And what we say,
Y'all can talk about that all day long.
we talk about, building legacies and saving legacies and working on legacies. All of that stems from somebody doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, like to say, if, like I said, Grandpa George didn't start the printing business, wouldn't have been nothing to talk about.
Right, right. When I had a clue,
If
right?
my grandparents hadn't purchased properties and started in the real estate game, there's nothing to
Nope.
talk about.
Nope.
So you have to go put yourself out there on the limb.
Gotta have something to talk about.
Yeah, and even like now in the social media age, we talk about social proof and all this. Just think about it. Years and years ago, we were just word of
It
mouth
was.
and just maybe a newspaper.
Right, right, right.
Now there are hundreds of avenues.
Hundreds.
I'm gonna say hundreds
Hundreds.
because the internet really is an infinite way of
Mhm.
getting the word out, good or bad.
Right.
And now you
Bad easier than good.
yeah, because we talk about how negativity,
Drama.
drama sells in the black community, check that out. And, shout out to Ermias Pagos from the Black Experience
Yeah.
podcast. We talked about that with him. And, check him out on YouTube as well. When you look to find to build on something, there has to be a foundation.
Right.
Point blank period. Where they say you building a foundation on sinking sand. So the first thing you gotta do is make sure the damn land
That
stabilized.
would be smart.
I mean, we know that. If
Yeah.
you building real estate, what you say first thing you gotta do?
Make
Base
sure.
gotta be solid.
Gotta be solid.
And so that's what we're talking about. If you're building upon something, your base gotta be solid.
Yeah. You can't increase layers, layers, compound layers on top of layers, and the bottom's gonna crumble. Because ultimately that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be compounding issues.
You ever seen a pyramid built top down?
That would be interesting.
Just saying.
That would be a defying gravity of the sort.
I mean, listen, you ain't never seen it built top down.
The point down.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's how business is. When you're figuring out what you want to do for your business or you can start a business, the first layer of uncertainty is how do I get my foundation? What's
Yeah.
my base? What's my grounding thing to hold this together as we hope to do scale up,
Yeah.
build up, gain knowledge, gain funding, gain money, gain customers, and expand.
But I think even before all of that, I think as an individual, you have to first realize that you will be navigating uncertainty. I think that's a lot of the issue that comes into play. It's just a level of a level of lack of education, right?
We talked about that.
Yeah.
People think just because you build something,
Yeah.
they gonna flock to it.
No.
This ain't Noah's Ark.
No.
Everybody see it's a flood out there.
No.
Everybody running.
No.
You know what everybody doing? looking to see what's gonna
That's
happen.
what I was gonna say. They typically strolling.
Yeah, they just looking to see what will happen.
Typically strolling.
Yeah,
But you
like
have to
damn.
first, like before you even embark on the journey, you have to first realize that no matter how perfect your plan is, that you will face uncertainty. And it's up to you as the individual, right,
Hmm.
to determine whether or not you're going to be willing to face that uncertainty. Because if you're not, get your ass out the boat, right? You don't stay on the
Abandon
lane.
ship.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. If you are willing, then proceed. Proceed with caution
Yep.
because you're gonna hit the uncertainty, but you've already acknowledged, checked the box, consented, and attested to by boarding this ship, right? That I acknowledge that there's going to be uncertainty and that I am willing to navigate it. Then you proceed with your plan.
A lot of people don't understand. The Titanic was a sinkable ship. The problem was they ain't put enough lifeboats. That's just the
Yeah,
thing. I mean,
yeah,
just think about it. You gotta give yourself an escape hatch to
yeah,
this. Like anything in life, have yourself an escape plan. Have yourself, yeah, well, what's the worst that could happen?
yeah,
And if the worst could happen is you lose a lot of money, make sure it's not enough where you sink your whole
yeah.
goddamn ship.
Because, the Titanic was called, and I'm air quoting
Hmm.
here, the unsinkable, right?
Yeah.
Because it was built hmm, so magnificently, right?
Yeah.
But for in case a compartment was punctured, it would fill with water, but none of the other compartments would be compromised, right? Because the walls are going to close, right? They planned for one puncture.
Yep.
But what they failed to realize that they would be navigating uncertainty, right? And there would be multiple compartments punctured at one time. So now we got an issue, right? The walls are shutting off, right? They're
Yep.
closing up, but the damn ship is getting heavy.
Yep.
And now it's starting to sink. So you planned for one compartment being punctured,
Yep.
right? But you did not plan for multiple compartments being punctured and filling with water simultaneously. So
And,
now the unsinkable has sank,
and you didn't have enough
and
lifeboats
you
for
didn't
everybody.
have enough light.
So what they say for people that go into business, make sure you got a parachute.
Yeah,
Make sure you got a lifeboat.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, if something bad happens, how do you save yourself and
right.
your business? Or listen, the business may not be able to be saved.
It may not.
The main thing is save your
That's what I was
goddamn
gonna say.
self.
You gotta save yourself.
Save
If you
yourself.
save yourself, you can replicate, duplicate, recreate, whatever.
Because a lot of people who have had successful businesses, they know failure first, not
Shoot,
success.
yeah. And them successful businesses, for the most part, aren't the first ones.
Nope. And guess what? When they failed, they saved
Yep,
themselves, they learned from their mistakes, they came back and said, "Cha bitch,
yep, that's right.
cha bitch."
Mhm.
Well, Miss Parker, I
Yeah.
appreciate you. 2024, I will say this, and I'm gonna give Miss Parker her last words as we sign out. 2024 has been a trying year, business wise. I would say it has taught me personally a lot of things.
Yeah.
Started out with a bang, and it's just kind of just it didn't live up to what we thought. That's fine. That happens a lot of times in business. Thing is, you learn from it.
Mhm.
You fix the creaks, you fix the holes. You say, "Ooh, saw that. Damn." Mm. You tweak it.
Right, right, right.
You reload for 2025. 2025, we're gonna be all right. We want y'all to keep continuing watching. Watch for the hook coming out. Legacy Greater Me. They talk about it. Still there. It'll be here early 2025.
Yeah.
Gonna be here. It's all right. It's on the way. It's just gonna be here for
Yeah,
early
yeah.
2025. Podcast, man, we bumping it. We gonna push the envelope a little bit coming to
Yeah,
2025.
we've got new things, additional things in
Like
store.
real estate. 2025 gonna be all the way live. I told Miss Parker, just get through 24 with me. She done got through
Child,
24 with me. I'm telling you,
child, I'm hanging
25
on.
It's all the way
I'm thinking,
live.
mm.
When we say watch for the hook, bitch, we swinging.
Mm.
Swinging the 25. So I got you. Tell my wife I appreciate her. Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm gonna let Miss Parker get y'all the last words for 2024.
I'm just gonna take this time and just say, hey, when you're getting ready to embark on these journeys and you're determining whether or not you're going to be willing to navigate the uncertainty, right? The uncertain, that's when you decide if you're gonna be a damn if you doer or damn if you don't, right? That's when you're gonna check that box. But for us, 2025 is love.
Get y'all next time.